Welcome to Old Guys, Gentlemen's Flex Fountain Pens. It's episode number 74, I think. So today what I'm going to be reviewing is my Opus 88 Demonstrator. This is the one that is clear. By the way, right now it's filled with water that's slightly tainted blue. And it's an interesting pen. I looked online to get some information to make sure I'm informing you guys as well as I can about this pen. And I realized you can't get this pen anymore. You can get it with the clear model, but I think this must be the earlier style, because right now in this pen it says Opus 88 right here, and it's got these kind of cool, I think, clear jeweled ends. But the new ones, these are more tapered cylindrical with flat tops. And I'm not even sure, I don't even know if they're clear like this. And then the Opus 88 is on a frosted section down here. So I guess I have a unique pen. Some other cool things about it. Get my notes out. It's also called a Coloro. It's made in Taiwan. I think the company's name, I'll put it on the screen right up here, but I think it's called Jingy. Probably not pronouncing that correctly in Taiwan. And it has an amazing ink capacity in here. I just put some water in here and measured it. That's why the water is there. And I can fit 3.4 milliliters of ink in there. That's got to be about a month's worth of writing. It's an eyedropper, which is a little unusual to see these days with modern pens. I've had some experience with eyedroppers, not so good experience. I had a Waterman, I think it was a model 14 or something, with a really nice nib on it. It was a wet noodle nib that just was beautiful. It would go from, you know, 0.1 millimeters to 2.5. But the problem is it doesn't have the release system up here that other pens have, and if you didn't pre-warm the barrel with your hand, which was a pain in the butt to do, you'd be writing and then eventually the warmth of your hand would work on whatever air is in here and you'd have a big splotch of ink. For some reason this doesn't do it. I don't know, because the sides are much thicker and it absorbs the heat. I'm not sure. But I have not had this blurb out yet. By the way, it does post. I'll give you a few dimensions here. When it's capped, it is, that's the other thing I like about this pen. It's a nice big pen. Capped, it is 6 inches. Posted, and it posts pretty well. It's kind of huge. It's 7 1/8 inches. I still like to write it with this. I like to have the extra stuff there. But unposted, it's 5 1/2 inches, which is also actually pretty comfortable. The barrel diameter is a beautiful 5/8 of an inch, and the section down here is just a hair under 1/2 an inch. So if you like bigger pens, this is the way to go. I guess some people might look at that and say it looks ridiculous, but you'll find me writing like that. By the way, I've got to tell you a quick funny story. These things are very tough to clean. I put some red ink in there, which red ink is like one of the worst inks to clean up with. It takes forever. and it got into the nib and the feed and up in here, and I tried soaking it in water. I tried putting paper towels in here. I pulled it all apart. It does pretty much all come apart pretty easily. I tried all those things and the red still kept coming up. So eventually I broke down and I put it in my ultrasonic cleaner. When I pulled it out, for some reason in my brain I was thinking this was a perfectly clear Demonstrator. Actually, that looks pretty clear there. But when this is dry, it looks like this. And I thought, oh my God, somehow I've etched this acrylic. But as it turned out, this is the way it was. I didn't do any harm to it. And you just put a little bit of moisture in there, and it turns from kind of a translucent to nearly transparent, as you can see over here with this water. But anyhow, the other cool feature about this looks like it's part of a fill mechanism, but actually it's like a stop plug. So when you have this backed all the way in and you control it from back here, it seals this thing off so you'll never get a major leak. And from the last time that you wrote, you can still do a little bit of writing on the ink that's left in here. But when I write, what I'll do is I'll open it up a little bit, and then I have access to all of this ink, and then when I'm done, I'll close it up. So if you like to be in airplanes or places where you might have ink, or like to have this in your pocket and you hate all those ink stains that you've gotten, I think this is the cure for it. It only came with, I think, 3 different sizes of steel nibs, and I didn't particularly like them, and I really like flex nibs. And I also thought it might be cool to have a clear housing and feed. So I went ahead and went to the Flexible Nib Factory.com, and I think it's called Flex Nib Factory. Anyhow, look up Flexible Nib Factory. And got an acrylic flexible feed and housing, and then they also do this flex nib, which is not like a really great flex nib. In fact, you have to put a lot of pressure on it. But I'll put some ink in here in a second. You'll see that. But this did not come with a pen. These things, but it's a Jowo. I think it's a Jowo number 6. You'll see if you look on the internet site. I don't think I have it, but I do believe it came with an eyedropper. Let's try some Tassia fountain pen ink. All right. So, to fill it. And probably wouldn't hurt to put a little silicone lubricant on these screwed connections, but everything, they're kind of like Twisbys. Everything seems to butt up against an O-ring. Okay, so this is what it looks like full of ink. So if I were trialing with this, I'd have this closed, and then when I open it for writing, oh cool, you can see the ink coming down. You can see some blue down here now. You can see some ink here. It looks like it's just a little bit of water left in the nib. So that's kind of cool. So you can see the blue much better now with this Flexible Nib Factory insert that I've got. This looks like it's about a double extra fine. Probably could have used a darker ink for this demo, but got to put a lot of pressure on here. The nib seems to be able to take it. But you can see this down here. That means I'm hitting the feed. But still, that's enough flex for fun. Response. It's pretty stiff. That's not bad. All right. Where's that lazy dog? You can see one of the things I'm doing here. You can see this, but I'm over flexing this particular nib. The nib is pulled away from the feed here, so I'm over flex this. That's going to be easy to fix, but there's just a limit then to how much you can flex. So this is a relatively inexpensive steel nib, and actually I have one coming in the mail this week that I can put in here, and it's going to be a gold nib, and I can have it modified for flex. So there's other flex nibs other than this one. I just happened to get this one because they also had the clear feed, which I thought was pretty cool. So that's it. A little bit long-winded. Hope you enjoyed this. I think I'll be keeping this for a while because of I like the large size of it. I like the ability to stop it off for safe travel. The nibs were like but you can put other nibs in there. The fact that it's this standardized Joe, again, I think it's number 6, means you can put all sorts of different nibs in here. So I guess that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, goodbye.